Delighted on this episode to be having a second conversation with author, creator Kevin Davis. Kevin, thank you for joining.
Hey, thanks for having me, man.
A pleasure. Absolutely. We're talking on this episode about Skinshifters Volume 1 and really cool looking work in the horror comic space. I personally love horror comics, gotten more into that genre in the past couple of years, but I've been an EC fan since the 80s and 90s. So
Nice.
curious about your take on horror in comics.
For me, I've been in comics for 4 years now, like professionally. I fell in love with comics in 2020. When I started writing my own comics, I knew I didn't want to do like the typical like superhero, like because that's like very more known, from
Mhm.
what I've learned so far. And I was like, I want to do something that I barely see, and it's like horror, more horror fantasy comics. I mean, I'm all like every time I go around, I see like a lot of superhero type of comics and stuff. But yeah, I see like some Hellboy, like that, like, but that's still kind of sort of a superhero kind of in a way, even though he's a demon.
Mhm.
But
Yeah. He's a demon
um,
hero. He's a supernatural
yeah,
hero. Yeah. Yeah.
and so that's a bit of horror, but it wasn't the horror that I was like really looking for. Until I got to the independent scene, where I see a diverse of fantasy, horror, action, comedy, and everything in between. And I was like, oh snap, this is freaking awesome. And
Yeah.
writing horror and fantasy is literally my strong suit. Once I started like crafting what I want to write. And mostly because I grew up watching horror. Like I stuck around as a kid to watch horror because I loved horror. And I also grew up on like Lord of the Rings and Narnia and like Disney and like Nickelodeon and different types of things. So like my imagination just got crazy and crazy and it grew over time. And I was like, I want to get this out of my head because I want to share my imagination in the
Yeah.
best way possible. And now I'm here. I'm like, it's Skin Shifter. I'm like, Skin Shifter is my third book, like officially. It's actually
Hmm.
getting printed. Technically, it's technically my fourth, but I took down one of my comics like 2 years ago. Because I'm like, because I'm refreshing that one. So that's why I said Skin Shifter is technically my fourth, but it's really my third because that's the one I'm actually going to print and not take. With this Kickstarter, this is actually chapter one of Skinshifter. This is not the official volume one because volume one graphic novel comes down either next Halloween season. That's the hope.
Oh, nice. Nice.
I couldn't change the link title because I already it's already on pre-launch, so I couldn't change it. But it is chapter one of Skinshifter, about 30, 40 something pages long, I think. I'm still waiting on the final pages from my artist, so I can't give you an official count just yet. Um, So this Kickstarter is chapter one to give you a taste of the story of Skinshifter, to see if you would be interested to wanting to come back to see the full arc next year in the full
Nice.
graphic novel. So I'm like, I don't want to scare you too much. So I give you chapter one, give you a piece of it.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because it's a supernatural, psychological horror thriller, and it takes you on a roller coaster. At least that's my hope because it took me on a roller coaster while I was writing it. Because the way I write is I put myself in my character's head to tell their own story. So I was on the roller coaster writing it, and I'm very excited to finally share it. And it's and man, it's I'm so proud of this book, and this is just chapter one, and I'm so proud of it, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, any shout out to the artists, the creative team there that you'd like to mention before we talk about kind of the ingredients and
Yes,
the long range plan?
yes. My main artist, Dea Negron. She did the main cover and the interior. We're down to 17, 18 pages left of the chapter one book. She is a badass. Oh my God, I'm so proud of her, what the work she's been doing. And shout out to my friend Rogo. I met a month ago or 2 months ago now, or I forgot. I forgot the timeline when I met Rogo. But shout out to Rogo for some awesome covers. He's done for me, and he's actually and Rogo is actually gonna be selling copies of Skinshifter at a horror convention in Texas. I forgot the name of the convention, but I know it's November 21st and 22nd, I think it was. Um, but shout out to Rogo for that, and he'll have some Skinshifter stickers with him too, with my books and everything. And I'm going to shout out Todd Rayner because he's doing the main cover for the graphic novel version coming next year, and James Sullivan who will do a variant cover for the graphic novel version Skin Shifter. So yeah.
Cool, cool. Yeah. Yeah, you mentioned horror conventions. I have not yet gone to a horror convention. I'm hoping to remedy that in the next few months. But there's this very cool like fandom around horror. Have you personally partaken in that fandom as somebody that's enjoyed the genre? Are there particular like inspiration points for you as you're creating a horror story?
Not yet, particularly because I haven't been to any conventions just yet myself. I was in one time and just it takes a lot of energy to even go to a convention because especially as an introvert, I have to go to a lot to see people.
Yes, yeah.
um, but I haven't been to like an actual convention just yet. But I will. I am going to make that. I just want to knock out some more books before I go. Like even as my first time, I'm just going as a fan, but I'm still going to take some books with me because I've been been like the advice I got. Just if you're not tabling yet, just have some books in your backpack with you
Mhm.
to still network and everything. So, but I just want to knock out a few more books before I actually start going to conventions right now. So yeah.
Cool. I am also branching into that world. I've been to a lot of comic shows at this point, but horror is there's some neat lineups there, and you
Yeah.
mentioned fantasy and horror, which
Mm.
are two different genres, but they live next to each other in the bookstores I go to. So
Yeah,
lots of
they're
great
two
connection
different
points.
genres, but they have an in between where it's called dark fantasy, which is a horror and fantasy. So I'm like they're two different, but they have a middle. They have a child they call it dark fantasy. That's the in
Right.
between. So yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Any ingredients for Skin Shifter that you want to mention? Anything that you wanted to make sure to explore in the story or inspiration points?
If you like alter ego type of stories, so supernatural alter ego stories, Skin Shifter is literally it's like gothic horror, alter ego, supernatural, psychological thriller story. With a college girl named Amaya Fitzgerald trying to live her life normally. She's in college, just trying to graduate, basically, get her make sure her grades are up and everything. But she's being stalked by this Jackal Bunny. Um, and the Jackal Bunny is an alter ego character, where it's the alter ego human version of Jackal Bunny named is Sabrina Jackal. And but the thing is, Sabrina and the Jack of Bunny actually have their own separate stories. So I will lay that out.
Mm-mm.
But you won't know their story in chapter one. I think I show a little bit of Sabrina Jackal's story a little bit in chapter one, but you won't see the full story of how they're the same but they're different until the graphic novel next year or so. And I will say if you like it's kind of sort of like a little bit of Split in there. So you like the
Mhm.
movie Split. Um,
Yeah.
uh, they got a little bit of, and like if you like Pennywise, like, Super doesn't eat children though, but it's just like the supernatural aspect of Pennywise a bit.
Yeah.
Because the Jackal Bunny is sent from hell by the Prince of Hell called the Corpus Fiend to capture the soul of Amaya. And so you're going on this cat and mouse journey, trying to figure out, okay, why does he want her soul so much? Why is she so important to him? And you just wonder, I was like, okay, who is this chick? Like, what's the connection between these characters? And I was like, and that's like the way I wrote it. I want you to make your own theories to figure out, okay, what's the connection? Who can we trust? Who can't? I'm like, who can we trust? Who can't we trust? But or is there anyone we can trust in
Mm.
this? And so yeah, so that's what Skin
Cool.
Shifter is. And
Yeah.
this is just the
And
taste of it with chapter one.
Sounds like a lot of things that I love and find interesting. You're building in some nice mystery there. Being chapter one, how many chapters are part of this world in your mind right now?
So I translated Skinshifter from my novel Jacobani that I wrote a couple years ago. But I actually changing some stuff from the book in the comic. So like the first seven chapters of the book of my novel is chapter one of Skinshifter. But after that, I'm actually gonna change it up and make it better than I wrote because I wrote Jack of Bunny novel like 3 years ago. I'm in a different place now, so I'm like I can fix that up some more. So I'm like this is the lore is completely the same, and just the way I explain the lore is gonna be different because I added more action into it, adding deeper revelation into the comic version. And so when the graphic novel comes out, it's gonna be if about 6 or 7 issues in the graphic novel
Nice.
version. If I did my math correctly, splitting up the novel. um, at first I was gonna do like single issues, but like being more cost effective, like printing wise, I just decided let's go with the trade and like do the paperback trade and everything. And it's like I'd rather just do it that way because I don't have to print multiple single issues at once. I can just print one book of the multiple issues. You know what I mean?
Mhm,
And
mhm.
so the Skin Shifted graphic novel will be about 6 or 7.5 issues or so. Like, that's just my prediction. I think it's about that much in that graphic novel version.
Cool.
Um, and Skin Shifter is connected into like this my entire universe I'm creating called the Halifax Chronicles. 'Cause I'm like, 'cause she's connected to my Arcfire series that's also going. She's connected to my Halloween story that's coming. That's delayed right now because it didn't fund, but that's coming. Halloween it's coming back just down the road, and we've been upping that one. I was like, but you don't have to pick up one book to understand the other because they're completely different, but they are connected. I was like, and down the road, I will do an event type of book to show you how these characters are connected, and I'm very excited for it as I'm writing the scripts and outlining the stories. And I'm it's tough, but I'm getting to a better place of executing it well enough that you understand how these stories connect, even if you don't pick up one book. But you can start anywhere. But even in the event, I will explain who the characters are, just in case you didn't read their separate stories. So yeah.
Adaptation, I know, can be like a tricky process.
Oh yeah.
So looking back at your prose and now getting that into comics, what are some benefits there, but also maybe some challenges of going through that process as a writer?
Challenges is not basically the most of the challenges is not um I was trying to find a word, not overwhelming the panels in the comic because
Mm-hmm.
my like I said my imagination goes very very big, so I have to remember not to force feed the page. So I need to spread this out a bit, make sure it's smooth, and then but by the grace of God, Daya is so freaking smart that she breaks it down better than I can. And when she reads the scripture, she said, I think it'd be better this way, so it'd be smoother storytelling wise, and also for the reader don't so the reader won't get overwhelmed
Mm-hmm.
with the panel. So and also printing wise, so it don't come out messy. And so I was like, that makes total sense. I would gladly edit that in the script and before we go into a full production. But also it's just also budgeting because anything, I mean, everything's unpredictable. Especially you might have to do an extra page or pages depending on like the action sequences in your comic, and then really then it's just marketing it and getting like finding your audience and just branding yourself, like getting out your comfort zones. Like now I have to talk to people to get people interested. I was like, oh shoot, I have to post on social media because one, I have a business to run, so I need to get it noticed and like get people interested. And then just finding those cues to like, okay, how can I brand myself, but also to get people interested. And so I like social media to me is like it's been fake for like forever, and so I'm like, I just want to be something real on social media. And I'm not here to dance or like to like steer you to a random door. I'm like, I'm Kevin. I'm a comic creator. I'm a writer. I'm an author. I am a whole different type of breed with so many hats that I've been told I'm a go-giver. Because I have been told I'm a go-giver because people ask me, dude, how do you have time for this? I'm like, I just do. I just love creating. And I tell my story, like why I got into this and how I do it, and it's just me. It's like I'm not special. I'm just being me. You know what I mean? And so it's just really just getting your mindset together, having to branch out of your shell to present yourself is definitely one of the biggest challenges in the creative world or any industry in general. So yeah,
Even working into a podcast world, like I started with blogging, writing. I was
mm,
comfortable kind of behind a camera doing things. There's that whole process of deciding persona or
oh,
self or
oh yeah,
all of those things. And it's
yes,
so funny because when we read something we love, like I could sit here and tell you more about a book that I love than necessarily something I've written. So there's that whole like gotta
that part,
love yourself and love your work and put it out there
that
kind of part of it.
that part, yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can tell you like 100. I can tell you about 100 books I love reading, and it's probably not be mine. More than likely not mine.
Yeah.
Because when I go back and read my writing, I'm like, I get like a kick. I'm like, oof, I wrote that really. It's like, because I'm heavy on myself because it's just being a creative. When you're more critical of yourself because you know you can do better, and that's why my going back and reading my Jack Abundant book, I was like, I wrote that. Really? I'm like, I can change that now. I was like, I'm gonna make that a lot more better. And then I also took feedback from one of my friends who read Jacobon, and she gave me some great feedback, like questions to consider, like story points. I was like, that's interesting that you caught that. I didn't even think about that. So like
Mhm.
getting that feedback, like seeing from another eye view, I was like, I didn't even think about that story point. I was like, let me go craft that out because that's actually a really good point. You brought that up. I didn't realize I wrote that until you told me about it. And
Yeah.
so just getting it's yeah, but I love what I do. I love getting the feedback and like especially especially the points that I didn't even realize that I wrote in the story. And somebody picks up, I'm just like, dude, yada 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 this and this character. I'm like, hell, I don't know. I just wrote the freaking thing. I didn't think about that.
All part of it,
Yeah.
right? Those stories live in us.
Yes, it does. Oh my God. So it's a fun process. It just takes a lot of energy and a lot of time.
Yeah. Well, speaking of time and energy, there's a lot that also goes into a funding campaign. So we should probably mention where people can find the book, any kind of processes there that you want to talk about. It sounds like there are some cool creatives that are doing covers and things. So anything like that that you want to mention before we close?
Skinshifter Chapter 1 is on Kickstarter. August 25th is when it launches. And if you want the Jacoboni novel, you can find it on Amazon or even Barnes and Noble website. And this says Kevin Davis Jacoboni. Um, yeah, and if you want to just follow me on my socials, I am Kevin Davis official on Instagram. My company name is Kevisal, KEVIRSAL. That's my publishing media company. But you can see I have multiple businesses, but all my business are tagged on my I am Kim Days official Instagram bio, so I don't have to name them out. You can just go there, see them yourself. Um, I'm on X for some odd reason, just I don't know why, but I'm Kelvsel there as well. YouTube, same Kelvsel, and TikTok if you're there, also Kelvsel. I try to keep it simple, just the one name. This is you can find me everywhere. I was like, I forgot about Blue Sky, so I don't remember my tag on Blue Sky because I don't remember the username. But I'm there too. I think I'm Kevin Davis, a CEO official or something like that if you there, but I don't post there. But the everywhere else I said I do post there mostly. So so yeah.
Two quick postscript questions, and then we can add in anything else that you like. The first is, what is your favorite scary story or movie? I should ask that in like the Ghostface voice. What's your favorite?
Very scary. Uh, every time I get asked this question, I get tongue twisted because I forget. Because I
There are
have
so many,
multiple.
right?
Yeah, I have multiple. Because I can't just choose one. But Nightmare on Elm Street,
Hmm.
The Thing, and shoot, Evil Dead. Jesus Christ, yeah, Evil Dead. Good Lord, it's like every time. I mean, I've been asked this 1,000 times now. I keep forgetting. Oh, yeah, yeah. Those are my top three.
Nice. And if I am not familiar with the Jackal Bunny, any kind of quick, like, this is what this concept is and where it comes from kind of thing.
If you're a WWE fan, if you know Bray Wyatt, his alter ego, like the Fiend and himself, that's alter ego. If you like, shoot, like I said, if you like Split, kind of a little bit of
Hmm.
there, a little bit of Pennywise. Not eating children part is just the character of Pennywise. I want to stress that my story is not eating children. Do not worry about that. So disclaimer: not eating children. Um,
Paranormal being is there.
there we
Paranormal
go.
being.
Thank you. I couldn't find the
Yeah.
word. I couldn't find. Thank you. Yes, paranormal being. Um, yeah, and that's I can't really say that one because that might be a spoiler of the story. So I'm just keep that one.
Yes, no spoilers. No spoilers.
Yes, I'm not. I because I can't really say that one, but I'll just keep it right there. You like those type of stories. I think you'll enjoy Skinshifter. Uh, yeah.
Awesome, awesome.
Oh,
Well,
I'm sorry. Also, if you know the movie Jackals, I got inspired from one of the characters. A woman was wearing like a bunny or rabbit mask. That's also where I got
uh,
inspired by the Jackal Bunny. It came out like 2017, I believe. It's called Jackals. So with that in mind, that's kind of like the mixture of Skin Shifter. So yeah, I forgot to mention that
cool,
part.
cool.
So yeah,
Awesome. Well, Kevin, I'm always glad to hear about what you're creating. Many thanks for the second conversation. Did
thank
we
you, man.
miss anything that you want to make sure to include before we close out?
Nope, that's all I have right now. Because if I said anything else, I'll be like Tom Holland spoiling stuff. So no.
Yeah, I get you. I get you. We all need a little more Zendaya, like the quiet presence, but feisty personality. So we love it.
Yeah.
Well,
Totally.
many thanks, and may the conversation continue. You're welcome back anytime.